Non-compete clauses, a necessary evil. In the cutthroat world of business, safeguarding your interests is paramount. Companies invest heavily in their employees, training them and sharing trade secrets. It's no surprise then that they seek to protect this investment. Enter non-compete clauses, contractual stipulations that restrict an employee's ability to work for competitors or start a competing business for a specific period after leaving the company. These clauses, while common, are often a source of contention. In India, the legality and enforceability of non-compete clauses are a complex issue. The law attempts to strike a balance between protecting a company's legitimate business interests and an individual's fundamental right to earn a livelihood. This delicate balance was at the heart of the landmark Supreme Court case of Superintendence Company of India, Lieutenant D.V. Krishan Murgai, 1980. This case, which I had the privilege of arguing before the Supreme Court, significantly shaped the legal landscape concerning non-compete clauses in India. The case of Krishan Murgai, a David versus Goliath battle. Krishan Murgai was an employee of Superintendence Company of India Limited, a company involved in cargo surveying and superintendence. He had signed an agreement that upon leaving the company, he would not join any competing business in India for 2 years. This seemed standard practice, a way to prevent ex-employees from using company secrets for personal gain. However, fate had other plans for Mr. Murgai. He was dismissed from his job. The reasons for his dismissal are not central to our story. What matters is that after his dismissal, Mr. Murgai, perhaps fueled by necessity or a touch of defiance, decided to start his own business. And not just any business, mind you. A business directly competing with his former employer. This audacious move would pit the individual against a corporation in a legal battle that would reach the highest court in the land. The legal tussle begins. Delhi High Court enters the scene. Superintendence Company of India Limited, upon learning of Mr. Murgai's entrepreneurial venture, wasted no time in seeking legal redress. They approached the Delhi High Court, armed with the non-compete clause in Mr. Murgai's employment agreement. The company argued that by starting a competing business, Mr. Murgai had violated the agreement and should be restrained. The Delhi High Court, after hearing the initial arguments, granted a temporary injunction in favor of the company. This meant that Mr. Murgai, at least temporarily, was barred from continuing his business. It was a significant setback for him. The legal battle had just begun, and the scales seemed tipped in favor of the corporation. The question remained, however, whether the courts would uphold a clause that seemingly restricted an individual's right to work and earn a livelihood. Section 4. To the Supreme Court. A question of fundamental rights. The case, with its significant implications for both employers and employees, eventually found its way to the Supreme Court of India. The central legal question before the court was the validity of the restrictive covenant in Mr. Murgai's employment agreement. Could an individual be bound by a clause that effectively prevented him from pursuing his profession, even after leaving the company? The crux of the matter lay in the interpretation of Section 27 of the Indian Contract Act, 1872. This section deals with agreements in restraint of trade, declaring them void. The question was whether the non-compete clause in Mr. Murgai's agreement fell under this category. Was it an unreasonable restriction on his right to trade, his right to earn a living? The Supreme Court's decision would have far-reaching consequences. Section 5. The Final Verdict. A landmark judgment. The Supreme Court, in its landmark judgment, ruled in favor of Krishan Murgai. The court held that the restrictive covenant in his employment agreement was void under Section 27 of the Indian Contract Act. The court emphasized the importance of an individual's right to work and the need to prevent unreasonable restraints on trade. The judgment sent a clear message: post-employment restrictions, barring exceptional circumstances, would not be enforceable in India. This decision had a profound impact on the way non-compete clauses were perceived and drafted in India. It served as a reminder that while protecting business interests is important, it cannot come at the cost of an individual's fundamental right to earn a livelihood. The Superintendence Company of India Limited v. Krishan Murgai's case remains a cornerstone of Indian contract law, a testament to the delicate balance the law strives to maintain between competing interests.